welcome to Bourbon Bite-Sized Learning, cooking through the calendar, and we're through the calendar.
We are. Yeah,
we made it all the way through 2023.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I think this is our third calendar that we've made it through.
Yeah.
So, and we've got some exciting news for you toward the end.
So stay tuned.
But today we're going to be making loaded beef stroganoff. Okay, not kind of ready for something different than turkey, even though we love all the turkey and all the fixings. This is kind of a comfort food.
Yeah.
But we're going to start our heat here and get our skillet just a little preheated. And we'll put a pound of hamburger. Now, as we go, we can talk about ways that you can make this even healthier. If you wanted to use turkey, you could.
Be a little leaner, yeah.
Honestly, I'm a little tired of turkey right now, so.
It's a ground chicken.
That's true.
True. Or ground pork.
Probably ground pork, even.
Sausage. It's not going the healthier route, but
we're going
like opposite from healthier.
But we're gonna brown this hamburger, which is gonna take a little while, or ground beef, and we're gonna do that with the onions.
Nothing better than an onion ground beef combination.
I love the smell of it in the house. I swear I think you could put some onions on to cook and I would be happy when I walk in the door thinking, this is what it's going to be.
Forget all those smelly things. Just cook an onion and the aroma will fill your house. An all-in-one meal kind of here. Got lots of different flavors going on.
And very little dirty dishes, very little clean. Now I've used several here so that you can see everything on display, but I was thinking when I was doing, if I was doing this at home, it wouldn't have nearly this much.
Yeah.
Because once I use a measuring cup, and like I did the onions in the measuring cup, then I had to do it for the yogurt. I use the same one. It's going the same place.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only thing, sometimes maybe eggs.
Yeah. Anything like raw meat or eggs, anything like that, you wouldn't want to. You'd want to wash that in between. But everything else, it's fair game. This is like the ultimate comfort food.
It is, and then I don't know. A lot of people do the box. I won't use the brand name, but the box stroganoffs. Those have so much sodium in them.
Yeah.
They have a lot. And during the holidays, I've tried to really cut back on the sodium. I have a sister-in-law who can't have any salt. And I didn't realize it's hard to buy anything that doesn't have sodium in it. It really is.
Prepackaged stuff is, I mean, that's how it stays on the shelf so long.
True.
Yeah.
This has, we're going to have our beet in it, which will be our protein. We'll have vegetables, which will have carrots and peas in it. Now, I'm excited we're using my carrots that I canned this summer when I was teaching a canning class. So we're using those, and I don't add salt when I can. If we add it when we use it, okay? If we need to. And I use no salt peas. We've got yogurt, which will be the dairy. We're going to have the noodles, which will be the whole grain.
And mushrooms.
The only thing we're missing, I think, is a fruit.
Yeah. Could easily have a fruit for dessert. There you've got all of your food groups taken care of in one setting, or add a fruit, some canned pineapple or sliced apple or something as your side to this. And
sounds yummy. And the temperatures are changing, so that good old comfort food, when it's cold and you come in and have something warm that's easy.
This makes quite a bit, doesn't it, Kay?
I think so. Yes, it
so
does.
It does. If you had a smaller family, you could easily have 2 meals off of this. 10 servings, 10 big servings. They're a 2-cup serving size. So, yeah, if you had a big family, this is a great meal to be able to stretch and feed them. Or a smaller family, this would I think my family can eat on this for about 3 days.
Well, the other thing is it offers a lot of options. I mean, we're going by the recipe here today because that's kind of the point of looking through the calendar for you to see what it looks like as it's all put together. But you could experiment with different vegetables. You could omit mushrooms if your family's not mushrooms. We've already said you could use turkey instead of beef.
I would admit the peas at my house. We myself included. We do not like peas. My husband would like the peas in it, but or I would pick them out and have a little pile of peas on the side. I wonder what would be some other good options that you could.
Corn.
Oh, corn.
I don't think it would be a true beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
It would be more of a casserole, but still, we're not going to fight over names, right?
No, right. So maybe you could substitute like green beans instead of the peas.
Oh, for
something green.
Green.
Like just a can, like of cut green beans, maybe.
Honestly, little crowns of broccoli would be good too. Not, I don't like big chunks.
No,
And something like this, but the smaller, little crowns or buds.
A cauliflower, maybe.
That's true. I like my color though.
I do like my color. Well, maybe if you didn't like mushrooms, you could sub the white cauliflower for the white mushrooms. Mushrooms are a good source of vitamin D. So if anybody is lacking in vitamin D, or we get less vitamin D in the winter because the sun doesn't shine as much, they are a good source of vitamin D. So
got to put our garlic powder in here.
Yummy.
If you'll notice, as we cook, and I've said this before, as we cook through the calendar, when we cut back on sodium, they increase the other spices. And that was a lot of, I thought it was going to be a lot of garlic, but we're putting it in fairly early too. So
Okay. It looks so good already.
Okay, I think our hamburger is cooked, and I like it in fine pieces. I don't like big chunks of it.
I don't know. You do
Spaghetti
you,
sauce.
but
That's right. That's right. If it's gonna be big chunks, I want it to be meatballs.
Yeah. Kay and I are in agreement. We like our hamburger like really chopped. If you'll see us, we often pull out that meat chopper because we don't like big chunks.
So now we're gonna add our white mushrooms that have been rinsed. And stir those in. I love mushrooms.
I do too.
This would not go over at my house, but I'd have to try that cauliflower for my family.
I wonder if you chopped them up really fine. If you could kind of sneak them in there with the onion and the ground beef.
Probably.
They work for kids. I'm not so sure about husbands. They sometimes are the pickiest people at the table.
Sometimes husbands can't see you cook because then they know the ingredients.
It's fine, you've eaten it before.
Yeah, you just didn't know it. Okay, we're gonna let those mushrooms get tender. That's probably gonna take about 5 minutes. And we'll stand with it. Make sure it doesn't keep stirring it and not burn. Okay. Mushrooms are looking good. Now we're gonna add some flour. It's just 1/4 cup of flour. It's gonna be our thickening for the sauce. Just coat all that real well before we put our beef broth in here. Okay. And we're using,
32 ounces, 4 cups.
4 cups.
Yeah.
4 cups of beef broth. And you'll need to add that slowly because if your skillet's hot, it might sizzle up. This is working just right. It's gonna look, I'll let you look at them. It looks a little thin right now. But we're gonna stir it real well to make sure that flour is mixed in. And then then we start adding other items. We're going to add our peas. It's a 14.5-ounce can. And then our carrots, both of these are drained. I drained the peas and I drained the carrots, and I thought, it calls for 14.5 ounces. I don't know exactly how much this is. So I drained my carrots, then I poured them in the pea can.
Oh, there we go.
And it was perfect. So, now we know. Kind of not let it splatter there. Now you might want, I'm going to, by the picture that we have on our calendar, they were big pieces of carrot. So I just left them the way that I had canned them. I didn't cut them up. This is so pretty.
It is. It's really pretty. So now we bring this to a simmer and let it cook for about 5 minutes so that the mixture can thicken. If you all notice that Kay is using a big skillet here instead of a big pot, so you can adapt recipes with your tools too.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because I started out with a big pot and I was standing over it and I couldn't see in. I thought, I think this skillet will work, and I think it's going to work.
Yeah, so if you have a deep skillet, this should be fine doing it in there.
And the Greek yogurt will also add to the thickening, and the pasta,
Yeah, it will absorb all that liquid.
Okay, our mixture is now simmering, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 to 8 minutes. Stirring frequently so that your flour mixture doesn't stick. And while we're letting it simmer, Kacy's got some announcements.
Yeah, a little drum roll.
Yeah.
We've just hot off the presses received the 2024 calendar. So this will be what we start with in January. So if you want to get your copy early, have a little sneak peek, make sure you stop out at the extension office, 603 Millersburg Road, and grab your copy today. Always, we have a limited availability of these. And once they're gone, we generally cannot get any more. So if you want one, make sure you stop out and get one today, okay?
And they're handy little calendars. Plus they have the recipes in the back that if at the end of the year, if you want to just tear out the recipes.
Tear them out. Plus there's lots of tips and tricks in there, and just handy little information to have, and so yeah, good information, and a great, just pretty calendar to have, and measuring information, and Kentucky Proud produce availability chart, and
nutrition facts for each of the recipes.
And each of the recipes talks about substitutions and how to make it a complete meal, and your little box to check off how many days you've been active during the month, and so lots of information and tips. And so
they also have the QR code, like the one last year did, or this past year. If you will go to that QR code and leave your comments about what you think of the recipe, that's very helpful.
Yes.
In planning for, believe it or not, 2025.
I know, we already are submitting recipes for the 2025 calendar, because this takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to get all these recipes, because you have to taste test them and trial them, and make sure that they meet all the different requirements, and then you have to prepare them, and you have to get the photographers involved, and then they have to go to press,
and all of them don't make it. So
and all of them don't make it.
So you have to start out with too many.
Yeah. So then you kind of weed them down to the best of the best. So your opinion is always valued to what the community is looking for as far as recipes go. So.
These are for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we need your input, your comments. They are designed for you and your family, and to eat healthy, and
to have good, high quality, low cost foods, and everybody wants to stretch a food dollar these days, and so these recipes really allow you to get the most bang for your buck as far as nutrition and stuff goes. So
It's just like we were talking about this one. We were hitting all of the food groups of my plate, all sections except fruit. That's
pretty
not
good.
easy to do.
It is not easy to do.
We usually hit maybe 2
Yeah.
in a recipe,
Yeah,
but this one's
the more you can hit, of course, the more vitamins and minerals you're going to get into your diet, and that's always a good thing.
And Kacy mentioned that it does make a large serving. It has like 10 servings. But it talks about, even if you have the calendar, it talks about how to reheat it as well. So I think it said add broth or milk.
Add some beef broth or a little milk.
If it gets too thick.
Yeah. That is looking so good.
I believe it needs to cook just a little longer, be a little thicker.
Yep.
For my taste. This might be fine for yours. This is not real thick, but we're gonna add 2 more things to it that'll make it thicken a little bit. And the only way I know to explain it is I can feel the fact that it's thickening as I stir it. You can feel
when
it.
you're making scrambled eggs and you can pull the spoon back there on.
And if you make this and it's not quite as thick as you'd like for it to be, then the next time you cook it longer. So I write in my cookbooks. I write in all my cookbooks. If things don't work, the next time I want to do it differently. Okay, we're going to turn off the heat here. Take this off the heat. This. We're going to stir in.
That in front of you.
We'll stir in our yogurt and our seasonings. We've got salt and pepper, a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon and a half of salt. Whoa, that pepper's making me sneeze.
It's a potent pepper.
And a cup and a half of plain Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt adds calcium, a little extra protein. And of course, it is thicker than
That's why I was getting
regular yogurt, so.
It does not recommend that you substitute regular yogurt because it's not as thick. Well, I want to get every bite of it. Let's stir that in a little. Oh yeah. That's making a cream sauce. Now it's starting to look creamy, like stroganoff.
I don't think I've ever made stroganoff before.
I'm one of those that's made it from a box.
Yeah.
Those used to be handy.
Hey, you know what? When you're in the thick of it, you do what you can do to get your family fed sometimes. Whether that's a box mix or a sandwich or a bowl of cereal.
Okay, I think we just about got that mixed in. And then we're gonna add our noodles that we've drained or kept them over hot water. Okay, now we're mixing in our noodles. Yum.
Looks so good.
Kind of fold them in to keep from tearing them up too much. I do recommend, like if you're cooking your noodles on, like on the stove, I'm assuming you're gonna cook them on the stove, leave them sitting over the hot water of the pan and they won't stick together like this. But we'll loosen them up. Oh, almost looks like white gravy, doesn't it?
It does. I think my mouth is salivating a little bit.
This is taking a little longer than it will you because, like I said, those noodles were all sticking together. And I don't want to be too aggressive with them because you'll end up with all these little tiny pieces of noodle and miss the whole stroganoff theme here.
Those noodles
There.
have started to soak up that liquid
They are.
already.
and they're
thicker.
loosening up.
Mm-hmm.
Just had to be a little patient with it. Like I said, if they've been over and pull some of your veggies and hamburger to the top. If I left those noodles over on those range top. Oh.
This meal has come together really quickly. I mean, really the only thing that you prepared ahead of time was the noodles. Yeah, I mean, other than, of course, the getting all the ingredients set up, but at home you wouldn't have to do that.
No.
So,
And like I said, I dirty more things than you will have to as well. So.
chop it in, I guess you chopped an onion too, but.
Looks delicious. Okay, now let's plate it up. This is the best part. Oh, look at that. Oh, yummy.
So good.
And we're gonna top it with a little Parmesan. I love Parmesan on everything, so.
Right. It's like, you go to a certain restaurant and they're like, tell me when, and you're like, keep it coming.
And you can feel them going,
Yeah,
she got done. Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait to taste this.
And there we have our stroganoff, beef stroganoff, for that cold day in front of the fire. All we need is our fire and our movies, our good woolly socks
A
on,
snowfall outside,
and we're all ready.
Yeah.
And we hope you'll come join us for that as well, okay? So, thanks for joining us, and I hope you'll try. This one looks so yummy. If this one is not winning you over, I don't know what will. So, please try it and let us know in the comments. Come back and visit the Facebook page later and share your comments about what you liked or how you fixed it differently for your family. We love to hear those comments from everyone. So, and so do the people who write the recipes.
Absolutely.
They love to hear that. So, glad you could join us for the first Friday in December, and come back and join us for that third Friday, and then it'll be 2024.
make sure you stop in and get that calendar.
Yes.
So that you're, you know what's happening in
They'll go-
2024.
They'll go fast.
They will,
So
yeah.
they always do anyway. So
I do.
thanks for joining us.